reason the penalty was awarded by Colin Hawke.
And Razzie Erasmus is better watch it as well. He then, after Tate had just chipped through, had a little whack at him. But no question, that was against Fleck on John Leslie, just racing up on the man, and a penalty attempt now for Kenny Logan as a result of it. But terrific work as Montgomery was collared to just wrestle that ball free. One of the front row forwards, I couldn't quite see who, but they did very well indeed. Percy Montgomery, there were big calls to drop him for the final couple of matches in the Tri-Nations series. But Mallet showed his faith, kept with him, and he came up with a pretty big game against Australia in South Africa's final Tri-Nations series. That was the match they won in Cape Town, which put their show back on the road. Logan drills it straight through the middle. 3 out of 3 for him. Scotland back in touch. 39.
Well, Kenny Logan there matching Yanni de Beer 3 out of 3 kicks.
PA announcer thinks he's announcing the heavyweight championship of the world. Good kick. Gregor finding his touch just outside the Springbok 10-metre line. It landed on the line for much further down, but it obviously sped into touch there first. South Africa 62% of possession to Scotland's 38%. Scotland have got to up that. They got through on that line out. Well done, they've stolen it. Gregor Townsend, Kenny Logan, kick and chase. And he can't get to it, a chance for Scotland. Now, if he hangs on there, it's going to be a penalty Scotland. He's got to get off that ball. Well, they did very well with the Springboks, but Clayton Thomas, I think, is signalling there was a little knock forward. So it's going to be a scrum down to Scotland.
Well, Bobby Skinstad there, he goes for a diving catch, rather like a cricketer there. But Alan Tate, great follow-up. Glenn Metcalf just behind. And as play unfolds, there's obviously just a hint of a knock-on there. And Clayton Thomas, the touch judge, has actually signalled that.
So Scotland, just a couple of metres short. Back it comes. Townsend, this time, goes himself. Been wrapped up by the South Africans. Is it going to come? And it's the equivalent, at least, of a turnover. Gregor Townsend couldn't get the ball back on the right side, and the South Africans isolated him.
Big defence there from South Africa. You know, that's pressure rugby, showing a defence like that. Coming up and obviously keeping a check on Gregor Townsend, who can open up many a defence.
That's slewed through 90 degrees, so it'll be reset. Still the Springboks put in. Yost feeds. Yanni de Beer. Well, Gregor Townsend was just close enough to get into his eyes, and that made him snatch at it. And the result is a short touch rather than a long one, so Scotland have still got the line out in a very useful position.
Scotland will be looking for Gordon Bullock to hit his jumpers here. The one quick ball off the top of this line out.
Off the top that time from Scott Murray. Armstrong. Great charging run. And Armstrong, great little break from the scrum half. over. Try there for Martin Leslie, through the gap like a shot. Oh my goodness, Scotland suddenly into the lead. Wonderful, wonderful bit of play from Scotland. First from the captain, Gary Armstrong, and then from Martin Leslie.
Well, the whole of Murrayfield's just erupted here as Leslie, he pinpoints the gap here. Look at his body position, drives to the line, dots the ball over the line, but what a run by Gary Armstrong on the angle to set up it.
Real awareness, the way he stretched through there, knew he'd probably get stopped, but his arms get through and get it over. That's terrific. Martin Leslie's 4th try for Scotland. Stoking up the bagpipes, that's what they'll want to do for that one. And Kenny Logan with a chance to give Scotland a 3-point lead. Well, the angle doesn't look, from our camera angle there, quite as severe as it is. It's only about 14 metres in from touch, but it doesn't make any difference to Kenny Logan. Over it goes, and Scotland lead 16 points to 13.
Well, this is shaping up as a cracker of a game, but again, Leslie drives over the line there. Good awareness. The South Africans thought he was going to break right, he broke left. You notice number 11 Rousseau is out there. Venter goes, that leaves the space on the other side as he goes for the line.
Simpson again takes the kick-off safely, makes 10 metres. Grimes just taking his eye off that one, says sorry to his captain. 16-13. Grimes very anxious. He and Scott Murray have formed such an effective partnership. He only got into the side because Doddy Weir was injured, and then Doddy Weir couldn't get his place back. There's the other Leslie twin, John Skinstad at the back. In the back burrows George Graham to try and stop this driving ball from the South Africans. The Scots have got to keep getting round. The South Africans have made at least 15 metres. Now it comes back. Left to Fenter. Good tackle. That was John Leslie bringing him down. Andre Fenter. Knocked forward by the Scots, not a penalty, it's a scrum to South Africa.
Well, with 38 minutes on the clock, this is a crucial part of the game. Very, very evenly matched, with Scotland just edging South Africa 16 points to 13.
Scotland would so much love to go into half-time with a lead. Can they keep them out? Oh, and that'll help. Big fumble by Skinstad, hacked away. And Leslie after it like a shot, trying to chase down Montgomery. He can do nothing more than just punt it into touch.
Well, Bobby Skinstad here with a crucial error at the base of the scrum.
Now, that might just be because he's feeling his injury. He's had a really bad knee injury, and it's when you've got to get down and pick those balls up off the floor that you feel those things, Scott.
It's often also about concentration there. It just seemed to, the strike of the ball coming back from the scrum there just wasn't spot on for Bobby Skinstad to pick up, and Scotland capitalised.
Well, he's got a lot to live up to, because half of South Africa doesn't believe Teichmann should have been dropped for him. Alan Tate, chip and go, away goes Logan, chasing hard, Montgomery. He's forced to take it into touch and goal himself. Oh, I think that was a... Oh no, he has given the decision I expected. For a moment I thought he'd signalled a 22, but what a great kick.
Well, a deft little chip there from Alan Tate, and of course Percy Montgomery carried over the line, and therefore relinquish possession for a Scotland scrum.
Yeah, he could feel Tate breathing down his neck. He didn't dare hesitate. Armstrong, Leslie, hard tackle from Rassie Erasmus, but Scotland still have it. And the Scots on fire. Townsend, little shimmy, they're not buying that though. Now this is where Scotland have got to be careful. Robbie Fleck. Back it comes, that's Skimstat. It's where he's good in the wide open spaces. Yanni De Beer, Montgomery. Rolled over by Gary Armstrong, they're trying to get him over the top. The ball's coming though. Rousseau playing scrum half. Into touch. We played a minute of injury time. Quickly taken by Metcalf to himself. Cuts outside Visachi. Skimstat touched it and almost put Rousseau off, but didn't quite. He's bundled into touch and the crowd go wild.
This is exciting games of rugby. Rugby World 99 coming alive here at Murrayfield.
Just a little moment to catch the breath. But a great last 10 minutes for Scotland, and that's so important. Just at one moment, straight after South Africa scored their try, it looked as if they might be taking control. Now Scotland have wrested it back from them.
Well, that's right. It was actually the little turning point in the last few minutes is Bobby Skinstan's error in Scotland's 22, and suddenly it was Scotland up at the other end, putting South Africa under pressure.
And Scotland will feel so good about that try. Bobby Skinstad. So they were talking down in Cape Town when I was there in August of Bobby Mania. So much, the glamour boy, all sorts of rumours that he's earning millions and millions of rand in commercial deals. And quite a few people are down there saying there's a big danger. He's got to be careful he doesn't lose the plot. He's got to remember that rugby is what he's all about. Going there to Albert van den Berg. Juist van der Westhuizen puts it to Yanni De Beer. Gathered in beautifully by Martin Leslie. Gary Armstrong has it. There's nobody in there behind Rousseau, but he can get back and mark that if he wants to. Not a good option from the Scottish captain. You can't allow anybody to catch it on the full. Well, they've come out of it not too badly because the South Africans have only made about 15 metres or so. The referee says that's it. The half-time whistle goes, and a sight that Scottish eyes will absolutely love. The scoreboard: Scotland 16, South Africa 13.
They're on their feet here at Murrayfield. Fabulous stuff coming up. Francois Pienaar with the view from the Springbok corner, and Gavin Hastings on a great half for the away side.
It'll be a great game.
This match certainly not won yet. The Scots will be feeling confident, having taken that lead into half-time. But they know there's everything still to do. Nick Mallett, worried man, I'm sure, but he won't be totally lost in confidence at the moment, because he knows that his team have got plenty of time to get this back. But what a merry-go-round bumper ride he's been on, because the South Africans went that 17 games, almost beating the All Blacks record number of successive games, and then suddenly last season there he was, having to win against Australia to prevent a whitewash in the Tri-Nations. He did that, and some people said if he hadn't done it, he'd have been facing the sack himself. There were certainly calls. I was out there in South Africa at the time, and the hostility towards him, particularly for the way in which he got rid of Gary Teichmann, the very popular skipper, made him a very easy target. Colin Hawke just checking the clocks, and off we go into the second half. Yanni de Beer, beautifully taken.